Hi, my name's Michelle Van Tongeren. I'm a Senior Manager and Business Advisor at SRJ Walker Wayland. We're a firm of chartered accountants, auditors and business advisors with offices in Brisbane CBD, Brendale, Caboolture and the Sunshine Coast. I'm here today with one of our valued clients, John Hillian from Shelair Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. Hi John.
Yeah, hi Michelle. I'm John Hillian from Shelair Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. I'm one of the directors of a small business. We're located up at Deception Bay. We do commercial refrigeration, domestic and commercial air conditioning, both service work, installation work throughout southeast Queensland. Servicing other small businesses and residential properties.
So John, tell us a little bit about the Variety Bash and why you chose to get on board.
Yeah, okay Michelle. So the guys from Aussie Fit Out, Scott and Jason, invited me along on the Variety Bash this year to raise money for the Variety Charity. So we chose the Variety Charity because it engages in helping disadvantaged and sick children with things such as therapy, medical assistance and say wheelchairs, things like that. So I believe the bash is a great cause. It leaves from Gladstone. We actually go next week. Goes out to various towns out west, travel through schools, communities, and finishes in Townsville in 10 days' time.
That's awesome. So you approached me a little while ago about whether SRJ would be able to provide sponsorship for this awesome looking beast, and I was pretty excited to get on board with that, given that it was a children's charity and we've got a long history with various different children's charities. We support Act for Kids, we do reduce cost audits for sporting groups and other children's charities. So when you said, Michelle, can SRJ sponsor this? I took it to our board of directors who were pretty keen to get on board, and one of the other reasons we were keen to get on board is we wanted to support one of our long-term clients who's a valued client that we have a strong relationship with. So.
Yeah, well, the key way, one of the key ways of raising money for the bash is to sell signage on the vehicles. As you can see, SRJ have purchased quite a large sign on both sides of the car, and we thank them very much for that as a valued supporter. So it's been great to have them on board, and hopefully they'll get a little bit back out of it as well.
So I said you've been a long-term client. So you came to us in 2010, post GFC, when your business was having a few difficulties, and there was a government grants program in place called the Jobs Assist program. At that time, SRJ was one of the organisations that were registered to provide assistance in that area, and you were successful in your grant application, and you were teed up with Stephen Jones and SRJ at that time. Just tell us a little bit about what Shelair was going through at that time and why you thought you needed help. Yeah,
sure. So as you said, we applied for a government grant through the Jobs Assist program back in 2010, and we were granted that. And SRJ were on board at the time with being one of the trainers for the Queensland government. So once we were granted that, we were introduced to your company, and Steve came into our office. We were using a different accounting firm at the time. Steve came in, sat us down, didn't know what to expect at all. We were looking for some advice and some help to grow our business at the time. We were struggling with making it profitable. We were struggling with implementing middle management. We were struggling with cash flow, all those things. We had a good client base, we just didn't know how to take it the next step. And straight away hit it off with Steve at the time, Steve Jones, and very quickly became a type of mentor for myself and helped me put some structure in place. And all those things that I mentioned in regards to cash flow, goals, targets. Basically, Steve finished up becoming something that I felt like I nearly could answer to, and nearly my boss.
Yeah, I know he was very good at keeping you accountable by having you send through regular reporting via text messages of how you were going with meeting those KPIs, and I guess giving you a little bit of a rap over the knuckles if things weren't going as to what the plan was, and questioning you as to the hows and the whys of all of that. So it was only a couple of months after that you decided to make the transition to SRJ to become your permanent accountants and tax agents.
Yeah.
Would you put that down to the different approach that Steve had to other accountants that you were used to?
Yeah, definitely. So the Jobs Assist program with Steve ran for around 6 weeks, and at the end of the 6 weeks, we looked at it and said, well, we really want to keep seeing Steve and SRJ and having them keep helping us with the things that implemented during the Jobs Assist program. So we made the decision to ask you guys to become our accountant full-time, which we never looked back from there, and all those things that Steve at the time tried to help us implement, we've achieved, and we're very proud of that. And here we are 8 years later, achieved most of the goals that we set at the time.
So we were doing a lot of work with you. You were growing pretty rapidly, and in 2012 I remember you called me and you told me, we're bursting at the seams, you have air conditionings being stored in the car parks, the other owners and tenants in the complex were getting a bit dirty at you, and the building next door was for sale.
Yeah, that's right, Michelle. So we had initially, back in 2009 I think it was, purchased a building at Deception Bay that was around 300 square metres, and once the growth was set in place that SRJ helped us so much with, we quickly outgrew our offices and our storage facility, and the building next door, which adjoins ours, came up for sale, and we didn't know how to buy it, how to structure it, how to approach the bank for the money, and SRJ were instrumental in basically did everything for us. They even sat in on the meetings with the bank for us, arranged, structured how we would get the deposit together, and basically assisted us every step in the way in structuring how we'd purchase that building, which we managed to do, and since grown into it, and I don't know where we'd be now if we didn't have that second building.
And we're at the point now where you might even need a third.
Yeah, well, now we're bursting out of the seams of that second building, and the main reason for that is as the office has grown, and we stock a lot of our own air conditioners now, so that we can service our clients, get them out the next day if we need to. So therefore we need more storage room, and we also hold a lot of used appliances for our larger clients, such as Night Owl and people like that. So yeah, we've outgrown that building now, and we'll be coming to you guys again probably in the near future, trying to look at how we're going to take the next phase in the next building.
So about a year ago, Stephen had made the decision that he was going to change his role with SRJ, and he wasn't going to be the client-facing director on your file anymore. So
yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Steve rang me and said that he was going to step aside from looking after us, basically, for various reasons. I was quite disappointed at the time, because I told Steve straight out. He felt like my boss, and it was really good for me to have somebody to answer to. However, we've transitioned from there now, because Michelle's stayed with us, and more recently in the last year, John's come on board, and it's been a seamless transition. We've gone ahead steps even further, I feel now. So yeah, it was devastating at the time, but things have moved on now, and I think we're back to where we were.
yeah, I think the reason for the success is that the way SRJ is structured, there's never just one person on your file. There's relationships across the board, and we have strong staff. And when John Risley came on board, he had a different approach, different experiences, and one of the early things him and I looked at with you was using the strong cash flows within Shelair to be able to really minimise your personal home loan debts, which was a pretty big achievement, and you were very excited about that.
Yeah, I guess Steve helped us with the structure in order to build the business, and as it's turned out in the end, John's helped us, once we've built to where we wanted to be, how to manage the profitability and to assist us personally with paying down personal debt.
Yeah.
And I know it was a great personal achievement for myself and my wife, and for my business partner Ross to pay out our homes, which we achieved a year or so ago. Through the help of John. So that was pretty much what he helped us do with the structuring side of things. Is quite different to what Steve helped us do in the early days with building the business. Yeah. And yourself, Michelle, you've helped us immensely with that too. So yeah, very happy with the last couple of years how we've achieved things with your guys' help.
Yeah, that's all great, and I'm pretty excited that the next things that we're going to be moving on towards is strategic planning for the business. So that's going to cover off on further growth and succession planning for the business, and who knows what's going to go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited too. We've got in the recent meetings we've had with John and yourself, got new targets to achieve over the next couple of years. Very excited about that, how we're going to implement them, and keeps us motivated, keeps us going. So look forward to a good future with it all.
Yeah. So one of the best things I love about working with you, John, is that you always contact me first. We have a good discussion about things. We're not really, our relationship's not really based on email. It's really on the phone or in person a lot, and I think we achieve a lot in those discussions.
Yeah, absolutely. So we internally always try and involve yourself, Michelle, and SRJ in any decisions we make that we think may implement, that think may affect, things such as taxation or profitability, or it may affect the way that the structure that we've built over the years. So we always try and make the call, make sure we're not doing something that we haven't planned for, because it's easy to forget. And like you said, it's very personal. We like to call rather than email. Yeah, so it's a great relationship we got with SRJ.
I'm proud of the fact that from both SRJ's perspective, but my own personal perspective, it's a relationship built on trust. I know you trust me, and pretty much everything that we talk about, you implement. And you wouldn't do anything without checking in with us first. So
that's right. Whether it's a vehicle purchase or a purchase of a property that we mentioned earlier, or whatever it may be, we always sort of run it past you guys because we value your opinions, and basically don't want to do something that's going to be a poor thing for the business down the road.
Okay. So I guess in summary, we're now in 2018, about 8 years and 2 months from when you first came on board with the Jobs Assist program. Without you going into that program and having SRJ Walker Wayland assist you, where do you think Shelair would be now?
Well, yeah, back then, I think we had 7 or 8 employees. Now we're probably pushing 28, 29. So look back to that's a big question, where would we be now? We could have been anywhere. We could have been right where we were, treading water is how we felt then. So I think that's probably where we would be. We'd be treading water would be the answer to that question.
That's great. Oh, thank you for coming out. Thank you for bringing this awesome beast out. I'm so excited by what you're doing. It's awesome. I'm going to get on board and give you a donation when I get back to my desk. And thanks for your time, John.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Thanks to SRJ for coming on board with the sponsorship. I'd like to finish off and say that I'm sure we're going to have a link on the bottom of this video. If you guys could click on the link, it would be fantastic if we could donate some money to the Variety Bash charity. It certainly goes to a great cause, and then we can keep you informed via our website where we're at during the bash. And thanks very much for listening, guys.